Alright, well, I wasn't going to make a video on this, but then I decided, what the heck. So I've already started, and I'll show you what I've done here. I'm working on a 2013 Volvo S90, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some LEDs to the trunk because I think it's too dark in there. Now for SUVs, it's a different story. There's plenty of light, but let me show you what I mean. Alright, so here we're looking at the trunk of a Volvo S90. And I have some stuff in there. And there's a light up at the top, and there's a light down at the bottom. Now, let me turn off the lights and show you what it's like if you're in the dark. Alright, so here we are with the camera's making adjustments on its own. I've got a chair in there. But my whole point is that it's dark. It's black, and the LED is the only thing that is showing. And actually that light is cocked because I was taking it out. So there we go. There it is, a little bit flatter so you can see the bottom light and the top light, and that's about all you're going to get. So I'm going to brighten it up. So this is about the 4th time I've done it, so I pretty much got it down pat. I purchased an extra light, and then I'll keep the one that's in the car for the next project. So you just take these 4 tabs off, there's 2 on each side, and you lift it up. Let me do that. Alright, once they're free it comes out, and then there's just a circuit board. And what I do is I determine the positive and the negative side. And you see I marked it in red. And then that is black and brown typically. Black is positive, brown is negative. Let me double check on that. Yes, that is brown and black, and the brown, which is the ground, may have a green trace line on it. So that'll help you because green is usually ground. Alright, for LEDs, DC voltage, it's very important you get your positive and negative correct. And then I have one running to the left, and this one's going to run to the right, and you'll see why in a minute. Also, I decided, this is the first time I've done this, I haven't done it before, but you see I drilled a little arc in there. I just took a drill and a drill bit and just kind of grinded out a little arch in there so that I do not pinch the wire. See where I was pinching it? I decided to relieve that. Okay, so once you get this soldered on, let me focus here. So there's my soldering. I just put the 2 wires together and then soldered them. I marked that red. And then I put the 2 black wires together and I put a little bit of solder on it. I did that. Now we'll reassemble it. I'll feed this through here, and the circuit board will go in place, and I'll feed this down here because I need to be clear of the plug that goes in. So we'll set that in place. Make sure everybody's happy. Should click down, no problem. Now the plug can go on here without any interference from my deviation. Alright, what's next? Alright, what's next is the test. I like to test everything, so you want to make sure these wires are separate. You do not want them touching. Then you want to do your positive and negative test. There you see it's lit up. Then we'll do the other side. Positive and negative. And you see that it's lit up. Alright, next are my strips. So it's going up into the trunk, so you see the tape here is going to stick to the roof of the trunk, inside the trunk. So this is going to be my left side as I'm looking into the trunk, and this is going to be my right side as I'm looking into the trunk. I've also marked the positive so that I don't get it confused. So that's ready to go. Then what I am going to do is when I flip it over here, you see it's a connector. It's a 90-degree connector, so LEDs slide in here as I put them in here. Same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these connecting tabs and insert these leads in there. So I'm going to replace them like that. However, I have to wait until this is installed in the car. So I'll remove the old one, feed the wires through on both sides, then I'll make my connections. Then once everything's all connected, I'll plug it in, I'll test it, and then that'll be the end of it. Alright, might have a little shaky camera. I'll apologize right off for that. This is my flashlight, not the LED. So there is the OEM LED, and off to the side here a little bit is a hole, and off to the other side is a hole. And then I'll feed a coat hanger or some sort of line through there and then pull the wires through. And then once they're through, the OEM light, trunk light, will just be dangling there, not plugged in yet. And then I will start to secure everything. I'll have to hook the ends of the wires up to my 90s, which is fun. It's hectic. And then we'll tape them down, or we'll test them. Then we'll tape them down and put it back together. Okay, so the best way to run your lead is from the small hole to the center hole. Okay, so you're going through this way, and then on the other side we'll come in from the other direction, small hole to big hole. I'll tie off my lead and pull it through. Alright, let's see if I can get this on camera here. Pull it through, and what you need to understand is there's some foam insulation in there, so that kind of makes it a little tricky. Here we go, there's the one end. Now I'll try and feed through in the other direction. Yeah, that foam is in the way. Alright, let me mess around with that. Alright, it fell out, so I get to do it again. Anyway, there's the one wire on the left, so I'm going to refeed the wire to the right. Alright, there are my two ends out, and my original OEM LED light unplugged in the middle. Now I could just plug in the LED and kind of like twist it and run it down the sides there, but I'm way too anal for that. So I'll get my 90s and work it in. So I'll stop the shaky camera here. So what I have to do is I have to pull these connectors out. Of course, that's going to free up this tab. I have to be careful that this thing doesn't go flying off, and then plug in my positive and negative. Also, I need to prep my strip. I'm going to cut it off here, and I'm going to start unpeeling it here so that I can take it off and press it in place once everything's hooked up. Okay, I have both ends started. So I'll peel that off and stick it to the roof of the trunk when I'm done. Alright, let me get into this. right. Alright, I don't care about destroying it because I'm replacing them. So there it is. Now there is a little sleeve, so it's not like it's going to flop right out, but it is loose. So it will slide in and out, but it's held in place. See, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little tab right there. See how it slides under the tab? So it is held in place. That's a small sleeve that it fits into. So it is not really loose. Okay, one modification I have to make is I have to take these strips off because I'm holding down a wire. I'm not holding down the thin LED strip, so I need to remove those. Alright, so we'll see if that's enough clearance for the wires to get through as opposed to just the strip, the slit for the LED strip. So let's keep going. Oh boy, I'm having fun now. So there's one side. I'll plug this in and then do the other side. Alright, test is good. We have all lights working. Alright, so now I'll just tape up the LEDs to the roof there, and that'll be that. Alright, I took a break, so I don't know where I was at. It's not scripted. So, let me make sure I'm plugged in here. Alright, I'm plugged in, lights working. Now I'm going to place everything. Alright, we'll snap the light back into position. Then we'll figure all this out. Alright, now we have a big bright spot in here. Let me kill the lights. It is daylight outside, but let me kill the lights and show you the difference. Alright, the eye is different from the camera. That's why I don't do flashlight videos. But anyway, I think I'll do a thumbnail. I'll do a before and after thumbnail so you can look and see the difference there. I don't know if in editing I can split the screen and do that. Kind of lame there. But anyway, ta-da! There it is. Okay, so I have done this before. This is like my 4th time. And there are all kinds of issues I ran into over the years. One is keeping the pins straight. You need to make sure that your pins go in the lower holes here, that you plug it in correctly and everything's hunky-dory and fits correctly. Also, you know, if you leave your trunk open overnight, it'll time out and go out. The lights will go out. Well, as you're working on this job, the timer might kick in and turn off the power to the lights, so you might want to know about that. Also, if you short anything, chances are you will not blow a fuse, but it'll take about 15 to 30 minutes in order to allow the system to recover, recheck, retest, make sure there's not a short in there. Odds are you didn't blow the fuse. I have yet to blow a fuse, and believe me, you don't want to hunt down the fuses in this car and try and replace it. Anyway, it's not called like trunk lights when you look up in the user's manual. It's something totally bizarre. I don't know. Anyway, so you want to watch out for that too, because I have shorted it out and learned that. I have bent the pins and learned that. I have got the positive and negative mixed up and learned that. So there's all kinds of things you just have to pay attention to, every single detail, and you will be happy with the results. Especially if you use your car at night. That is when you're really going to like this feature. That's when it's really going to come in handy. Alright, well, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I appreciate it. Have a great day.